National Poetry Out Loud Recitation Contest. And they have the winner of the national, it's kind of like the spelling bee contest. The winner of the national gets a $20,000 scholarship, which ain't chicken feed. So the National Recitation Contest has run 5 years. I'll just show you an example of this video. There's lots of video and audio and a whole bunch of stuff, advice about how to recite poetry well, how to get into it. It's really kind of neat. But this one, Wording Recitation, has some samples of students reading, not reading, reciting. I don't know, let's see, how about Rye Satirical Tone for this?
Forgetfulness by Billy Collins. The name of the author is the first to go, followed obediently by the title, the plot, the heartbreaking conclusion, the entire novel, which suddenly becomes one that you have never read, never even heard of, as if one by one the memories you used to harbor decided to retire to the southern hemisphere of the brain, to a remote fishing village where there are no phones. Long ago, you kissed the names of the 9 muses goodbye and watched the quadratic equation pack its bag. And even now, as you memorize the order of the planets, something else is slipping away. A state flower, perhaps. The address of an uncle. The capital of Paraguay. Whatever it is you are struggling to remember, it is not poised on the tip of your tongue, or even lurking in some obscure corner of your spleen. It has drifted off down a dark, mythological river, whose name begins with an L as far as you can recall. On your own way to oblivion, where you will join those who have even forgotten how to swim and how to ride a bicycle. No wonder you rise in the middle of the night to look up the date of a famous battle in a book on war. No wonder the moon in the window seems to have drifted out of a love poem you used to know by heart.
So, that's high schools who participate in this have their own competitions, then they send kids either to regionals or to state. On the national competition page, they listed where, not sorry, the Michigan page, they listed where students are from in Michigan, and I was interested, most of them are juniors and seniors, but there were a couple 9th graders, and the champions in 2006 and 2007 were from Holt. Yay! So, now we kind of lost, the title has gone away from Central, but we need to get it back here. So we could do that, and I shall, and then if your high school, when you get to high school, or you're there now, wants to participate, you could agitate for it and say, this is going on, Michigan Council of Humanities supports this, I want to take part, and see what it is. Yes, ma'am, sir.
How is that separate from, or divided out by schools from traditional oral turf?
This is something I only learned about last April by listening to an NPR show. So it appears to be separate in the sense that it's funded separately. Okay. But it may well be that schools that have oral interpretation or no, we had another name for it, but
visual events or whatever.
Yeah, but they have the programs already, and then they choose to send students who are interested in poetry recitation to these things. So the Michigan site actually has stuff about for schools to take part in things like that. So yeah, my guess is that
questions.
Yeah,
We've got 15 minutes left, so if you have questions for us, we're giving you a lot of information.
I want to make sure you know about the Sunday workshops, though, and you don't have to come to all of them. If you decide to come every now and then, that's great. Come in the 3rd semester for the first time, that's wonderful. So, anyway, I'm happy to answer questions.
Yes.
You had mentioned they have to bring their assignments or their papers to class. Is there also a way to submit them electronically?
If then they should certainly email it to me as an attachment. I want to get hard copy assignments first to get a sense of what people's word processing skills are. Not skills, but their programs in class. I'll just ask, so what word processor do you use? Steve Arch found that some people's word processors, I think OpenOffice was one, didn't talk somehow to his Microsoft Office program, which I don't fully understand because I thought it was supposed to. But he said he had some problem in sometimes opening students' files. So I want to find out what the programs are and then do a couple of test runs before saying we will have electronic submission. Sometimes we do, some college classes do only electronic submission, and the teacher writes or comments in the margin of the electronic file. One thing we do want to do at the end of each semester, though, is have a portfolio of all the writing for the semester turned back in. Some of that is writing which is revised. So Ken was talking about, you may not get the grade you expect on the first one. Some of these papers will, in fact, be things that we ask you to revise. Because revision is a way that writing gets better. It's true for professionals all the way up the line. So the portfolio lets me see how the progress of the writing has gone, both with revisions and with just shorter things at the beginning and longer things at the end. So there comes a point where it needs to be printed out with each copy, and I read the whole thing as a paper, holistic experience. So I'm going to start with hard copy anyway. And students, it's a good idea to make yourself a kind of a file folder at home where you keep things that you've gotten back. Don't just kind of lose them in your bedroom or whatever. Keep them time management and also space management or work management, but whatever that is.
It's important for a couple of the high schools when we sent our iShell students back. They use those portfolios to determine whether they would put them in AP class. So we didn't even realize the value of those. We thought it'd be a great thing for us to have, and I've stored some, but later we actually had to put those together and turn them into the school's turn. So they are going to be very important.
But electronic is something that we're certainly, we've used in classes of our own, high school, college classes of our own. So if once I know kind of where people's technology is, then we might move on for some things, maybe not for others. Other questions? Yes, in fact, the OED is actually a link that takes you to an MSU library page. But if you're logged into Angel, it should take you there directly to that page. Then you have to type in OED for the whole title. And it will then ask you for your ID again, and your MSU ID and your MSU password, because MSU subscribes to this rather expensive online book. And you are getting the benefit of the fact that you have an MSU identity. So anyone with an MSU ID can use those things, but they always ask you, who are you for MSU purposes? So that the OED thinks you are MSU when it receives that proxy login. So any library book, I think, well, they're for checking what's out of the library, or the cards, the identity cards allow that.
I don't know how to check on that.
Let's find out about that. I don't know if you would need to check what's out of the library, but you never know.
Their pits and pans will work at the library. We haven't gone over there with the new cards and
Oh,
make sure
okay.
they actually swipe in, but if you have your pit and pan, you can go to the MSU library and go crazy. Check out
Do you know how long, are they the same length as undergraduate checkouts?
They should be.
They should be, they're just considered MSU affiliates, so I believe they have the same privileges.
I'm not sure if, okay, well, let's find out what this lifetime time is.
Okay.
Faculty members can check things out for 6 months at a time, so it's, I kind of don't pay attention to that. But if you have a research project for some other class, hey, take advantage. It's better than the public library, maybe. Yes?
I don't want to sound sacrilegious, but does this mean that they get a student discount for sports? Kids and that type of thing?
They're not undergrads. They have to be in a planned program for some of these
Okay.
benefits. Yeah, they're lifelong learners. That's a different
So
case.
academic benefits, but not sports.
Yeah.
I'm
about
sorry.
that.
I wish I could, yeah.
Do you think they're going to have time for that really now?
Oh, and a sound mind and a sound body.
Just kidding.
Yes.
Has there been any ramifications, or when kids are going to the library, Odyssey,
final grades, we send a concise description of the program and the materials that have been covered. That goes in their CA60, so no matter where they go in the future, that information is there.
So when that out-of-state college doesn't see AP, English, they don't
Right.
see that.
They're gonna see, yeah, they'll have English 1, I shall, or excuse me, English 9, I shall, English 10, I shall, and then we include that information out. Whether that goes along with the transcript, I don't know, but the school will have the information if the school requests it. Yeah.
But AP may well be what follows at the school.
Absolutely, it
because,
should.
People at I-Shall are 7th, 9th grades, so even some in 9th grade, 9th and 10th, and then there's 2 years after high school, so they may well want to do AP English when they get back, and then that certainly will show up.
So when they're done with this program, they still should
They,
go on.
absolutely, yeah, right.
Absolutely.
If English is, if they want to be doing that, this might also free up time to do something else. You can get something else, or college enrollment, or more foreign language, so.
We had students in I-Shall that this summer were in our, they were freshmen in high school. They did English 210 with us this summer, and then they're taking classes to enrollment fall and spring.
So they're actually getting college credit. This course doesn't give college credit, it gives high school credit, but they finish I-Shall, and then they're ready to start, 210 is our intro to the English major. So,
Which I understand is the equivalent of a high school AP class, is what I've been told.
if you get a high enough score on the AP test, you get credit for
Yeah.
English 210 plus the freshman writing course. But, so in that sense, yes, it's an equivalent, but, kind of funny in that way. And 8 credits for writing and English.
Any other questions? Well, you know how to get hold of us if you have questions later, that's for sure. And Erica has some bookkeeping to do, housekeeping to do.
Yes, just a few quick things. First of all, when this is done, I'm gonna take you down to a classroom. I know you already got your picture taken, but we also take pictures by county for students. We group them like that. And then it goes out to your local county
Your community newspaper.
So look for that, you'll be famous, I guess. And so you're just gonna follow me over there, we'll sort you out. I swear it'll be really fast. And then the 3 people who know to wait for me after will wait for me. And then I swear that'll be really fast too. And then we just have a few more things that were in the folder. If you did not come with the folder that the student received at the prep session, we have a few papers that we need you to sign. Some of them, one is the photo release. Looks like this. This is so we can use your students. Yeah, put it in the paper, maybe get them on our website if we have a good picture of the I-Shall class and things like that. So we'd like to collect this today. We have extras printed of these in case you did not come with your student's folder. So what we're going to need is the photo release form, and then we're also going to need the orientation and evaluation. We always love improving, so give us your best opinions, and hopefully next year I-Shall will have even better
That's
orientation
correct.
than this year.
Absolutely.
And then we also have the PDF. I understand some of you don't know what your classes are going to be or anything like that, in which case you can fax this to our office, mail it, scan it, and send it to
Bring it
us.
to the first desk.
Give it to the first desk. It really is more for the professors than for the office, so handing it in straight to Professor Tavermina is just fine. And then the last thing, I just want to call your attention to the roster. Please double check this information as well. I know we had you double check the information up there, but this also has your address on it, and this is where we're going to send things. So we just want to make sure we have all the correct information, so you're getting everything from us, and we can stay in good communication.
And that way you can keep track of each other for carpooling, study groups, whatever. You have everything on everybody in the entire program in your one unit.
Let me encourage the students to look at this communication tab, which I didn't show you, but I have actually emailed you all about an hour ago from Angel. You, hopefully, if you're forwarding, got set up correctly this morning, it should show up in your own email, but it also should be in your Angel site. So you can check that out and let me know whether it worked. So on class, I'll show you guys how to just send a message if you want to use the Angel site. Mr. Montes? Mr. Montes? Ah, good. Great. So we need to talk about this morning's